And it is a simple little move. All we have to do is repeat that move on one string, and then the next string, and then the next string, following the pentatonic shape to create epic ascending lines, kinda like this. We were probably all told that most of us, I suppose, most of us who took formal guitar lessons anyway, we were told that we should use first finger, third finger, or first finger, pinky, and that whenever we're 2 frets away, it should be 2 fingers away. And that is almost always true. And I have told my students that here so many times, except when we want to reach back, as I call it, or switch back. I don't think there's really a name for this, but if we watch so many of the great guitar players able to make a scale shape sound less like a scale shape, able to climb up a scale and just make it sound, wow, that's so interesting. It sounds all mixed up and cool and more melodic. All we really need to do is change up what we were taught about our left hand fingers, and we're gonna switch back with a different finger. So here's what I mean. Basically, we want to prevent ourselves from getting through the pentatonic shape too fast. There's only 5 notes and then 5 notes again, and you're pretty much at the top of the shape already, right? So we want to keep moving back every now and then. Now we could say you could just move back randomly at any moment, but that's not very helpful. As teachers, we should try to always give very specific and direct guidance so that you have something to practice and get better at. And when we look at what these guys do, if you look at their fingers, often what they're doing is they're using 1, 3, and then reaching back with their second finger. So that's what I call the switchback. It is easy, right? That doesn't mean it doesn't take a lot of practice to put it into a longer line. So what we're gonna do first is just try that switchback itself. That one on the G string, A minor pentatonic, just goes 5, 7, 7. That's the root, that's A again, right? And we could do that on the D and A strings as well. It's gonna look the same, just on the lower strings. That one lands on the 5th, that's kind of nice. So we've got 2 of them. We've got and. Let's try putting them in order. That's kind of cool. So what did I do? I did 1 switchback, and then I walked up to the next switchback and did that. Now it's particularly easy in easy shape on those strings because it's all 5, 7, 5, 7, right? But if we imagine other parts of the pentatonic shape, we have to change the shape to make the switchback work, right? So if I was on the B string, it would be 5, 8, 7. But my fingers could still be the same. I would still probably use 1, 3, and then 2 to reach back. It's faster and smoother. I think that's really the point. Yeah, we could just bounce a finger over. Let's say we go back to that previous one. We could still go 1, 3, 3. Yeah, I can. But I gotta bounce that finger over, and it's hard to bounce it that way, right? It takes a moment, and also it means that the previous note is cut off for that moment, and it just doesn't sound as smooth. So if we reach back with that second finger, now we have a smooth transition. You can barely hear the space between those 2 notes. So let's try that lick again. But let's move up to the B string. In fact, we can do the switchback at any moment of any of the pentatonic shapes. What if we were in extension shape up here? Let's say we were on B string, that would be 8, 10. And then, this is curious, right? The switchback is actually very easy because in extension shape, the note that's 1 string down is already comfortable with my second finger. In fact, that's what we would normally do. So that one works perfect. And now let's try the next string up. So that would be the high E string, 8-10. And the B string is 10. We're just picturing the pentatonic shape in that space. And we can connect two of them to make a pretty cool lick. That one ends on the root again, right? So that's pretty good as well. So maybe now you see what I mean by using, it's kind of like using the wrong finger, but it's definitely the right finger when you want to do this kind of movement. And it extends a small pentatonic shape into a longer line. If I just climbed up extension shape, I'm already at the top of extension shape. It's just 5 notes. That's the whole pentatonic right there. But if I do a couple switchbacks, it allows me to fill more time. And the mixing up the notes sounds cool anyway. On our Patreon group this week, we're going to have lots more of these switchback runs, but here we'll give you one of them that will travel from just below easy shape, through easy shape, and up into extension shape. So let's imagine what that is first. I actually call this run number 1. This is in one of my videos. I think it's called Fly Up the Fretboard. But if we just imagine this movement without the switchbacks first, it would be like this. From the low E, we would go 3, 5, 3, 5, slide. That slide now puts us in easy shape, right? And then we would go 5, 7, 5, 7, slide. And that slide puts us in extension shape, which we can finish off with 8, 10, 8, 10. So let's see if I just improvise some switchbacks there and see what happens. I'll just do it slowly for now. And there we go. Now we've traveled the same distance on the guitar, which is pretty far, but because we have the switchbacks, it takes longer. And because the switchbacks make the notes more mixed up, it sounds less scale-wise. Now we can put these switchbacks together, speed them up, which takes a lot of practice, right? I did say it's a simple technique, but that doesn't mean it doesn't take a lot of practice to put it into context and get it up to speed. But we can mix up the switchbacks with other tricks that we might have, like maybe we double some notes. I love the doubling of notes there, and might as well start it there because we can't do a switchback that low. We've got nothing left to switch back for, right? So let's double those first 2 notes. And there's our first switchback. Now we just climb up the shape. There's a cool slide. That slide sounds good, but it also just helps us move through the shapes anyway. And we're gonna climb a little higher so that we get this comfortable switchback at 5, 7. Those are the easiest ones, right? Because they're kind of shorter there. So we got. Moving forward, we'll do another switchback. And now we want to move up to the extension shape. I might actually switch my fingers there as well, because if I know I'm sliding up to extension shape, I might want second finger. I might want second finger to do that slide. Then it puts me in a great position for extension shape, where I can do my extension shape switchback and then climb up to the next string, the last one. One more switchback, and then maybe we finish it with any kind of lick we like. A bend is a great way to end a lick. And maybe end on a root, something like that. So, can I remember all that? In a way, it kind of doesn't matter. We want to be able to throw in the switchbacks in an improvisational setting. We want to just practice them a lot so that when we're ascending a pentatonic scale, we can see them and use them sometimes. But I think I might have it. You could throw any lick into the middle of that kind of series, right? Maybe let's see if I could just throw a bend in on the G string somewhere in between, but then continue on with the same concept. Not bad, that's a lot harder. I had to think a bit there. But it does work. Once you practice these things a lot, putting them into context and using jam tracks, and then you got to move them to other pentatonic shapes. So for example, we've got the tabs for this one all on our Patreon, but I could go from shape 3 up to shape 4 using these kinds of double backs. And so here's that demo again with the jam track. The first one has the run from down here 3 to 5 through easy shape and extension shape, and then some improvised licks in between. And then the second run starts from shape 3, call that triple stack, into shape 4, call that funny B string shape, and then with some kind of bend at the end just to make it all hold together. If you have found this video useful, please smash that like because it helps YouTube tell everyone else that this video is kinda useful. And we've got loads of practice tips on the switchback on our Patreon. Thanks very much to all our rockstar Patreons who helped to make this happen. And my name is Blue Morris, and I teach guitar lessons right here in Vancouver, Canada. I'll see you in the next one.